Good evening. I would call the Rochester School Board Building Committee meeting to order. Item 1, approval of the March 7th, 2023 Building Committee meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion by Steve Kusumanos.
Second.
Second by Dave Kamari. Any discussion? Seeing none, all's in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item 2, facilities update. Mr. Letourneau.
Waiting for my prop guy. I don't think he's ready.
You gotta talk to that facilities guy about how long it's taking to get up on the TV.
I heard non-public, I shut everything back down.
Mr. Letourneau, are you also presenting items 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8?
I'm just doing the facilities update.
Okay.
You don't have the agenda tonight?
I was just like, are you just doing it all? Because we'll just keep you up there. Thank you.
Here we go. All right, for custodial, I want to start out with that we're 4 positions short right now due to people leaving us. Actively looking for more help, but it's hard to find some days. Here you can see we're a couple different chemical dispensers. We're comparing chemicals from different companies, trying to find a better deal, stuff that still works good for us. So these are set up in our shop. There's going to be a third one next to it. Just trying stuff in this building first, just to see if we like it, if it does the job, and if we can save money. There's no guarantees out there, but it doesn't cost anything to try. So our David Demers recently discovered that we've been buying factory parts for our NSS Pacer vacs, which is pretty much our standard vac in the district. And we used to just buy all our parts from NSS, and a filter kit was about $106 for 10 bags and a filter kit. So now we've switched to buying them from Amazon. It's $15 for 10 bags, and we do filters when we need to. So you're not saving all that money, but they don't always need a filter. So we're doing that. Grounds, we had some storm damage like everybody else in the world. This tree's in front of Gonick School. We ended up having to take this leaf down too, because it took half of that with it when the big one fell. This one's behind Chamberlain, one of the aspens. The rest of them don't look too good, so when weather allows, we're going to take all of them out of there. Again at Chamberlain, we're installing a new boiler section in Wheel McLean 88. It's about 700 pounds, and that's us not too smart people muscling it down the stairs. We got most of the way there with the loader, but then we had to stand it up on furniture dollies and get it through the door and down the stairs. There's no easy way to do it, so you just get all the people you can on it and try not to hurt yourself. And that was successful. So that'll be going in soon. Stronger Connections grant. Contract's been executed, product ordered for the window film project. The other part of that project that's not on this is the A-phone upgrades. Those are all going in April vacation. So all the schools will have the new A-phone in. Spalding High School Band and Chorus. Final design on HVAC has been finalized. It's going to be a single unit, 9800 CFM. It looks like the project's gonna go off this summer and be complete before school starts. And the Spalding air quality improvement, the last 2 ERUs are gonna go on the roof during April vacation for the east side of the building. And everything looks good. I mean, it's gonna be a long summer over there, a tight summer, but the project's gonna get done and we'll meet the deadlines.
So I'm just gonna finish up facilities update with the work order report. For the period of 3/1 to 3/31, we completed 142 work orders, which is up from 100 in the previous reporting period. Created 181 work orders, up from 131. We now have a close ratio of 0.78 to 1, which is up from 0.76 to 1. We have open remaining 37 from the March batch with an average days assigned to complete of 7.14, just off a little from 7.31 last time. And the reason I'm doing this is I wanted to share with you this slide. Usually I show you work orders by category or work orders by person or priority. This is work orders by tenure, the tenure here being mine. This is my time at Rochester School District. And you can see in the data, there's a heartbeat that happens. And we get a lot of work orders when school starts. And as the year progresses, the work orders come down. Summer, school starts, school starts, school starts, school starts, school starts, school starts. COVID happens. You can see COVID in the data, it's right there. And then school starts and we're getting, and then the heartbeat gets a little irregular after that event, right? We had a real nice sine wave going on and it's gotten a little irregular. It's still there, all the data is still there. The thing I like that I'm noticing in here is there's a bump in earlier years around February vacation. There's usually a little bump in each year. And that bump's gotten bigger in these other, in the more recent years. And I don't know what to attribute that to, but I hope that it's just a more even distribution of the work. When I first started here, and I know Mr. Bickford before me worked very hard to change this, but there was an attitude of, I'm not going to bother putting in a facilities ticket because nobody's going to do anything. And I know my predecessor worked very hard to change that, and I've worked very hard to change that. And maybe we're getting a more even distribution of work orders. Maybe that's people are putting in the work orders whenever they come across something because they believe that it's going to get fixed. I hope that's what I'm seeing in the data. That will be for somebody else to find out in the future. And that is it for facilities update.
Thank you, Mr. Toddy. Any questions from Mr. Letourneau or Mr. Toddy? Mr. Letourneau, thank you as well. Seeing none, moving on to item 3, Maple Street Magnet School site work improvements. Going back to Mr. Toddy for this? All right. Are you finishing items now?
I'm your guy.
You're
Yes.
okay, so I want to see who
Yeah.
we're talking to.
So, a reminder of what this project entails. This is a site work improvement plan for the Maple Street Magnet School that's widening the circular in-drive to allow apparatus, rescue equipment, fire service equipment to make it through that loop, and relieving the huge overburden of parking that goes on in this area by creating a new parking area here with a new discharge here. This plan went through TRG process with the city. It also went before planning board, and it's been out to bid. So, the bid results, we had 5 bidders responded. The low bidder is MC Build LLC of Holderness, New Hampshire at $217,000. We have money in budget now in 2 different bonded CIP lines. So I'm asking for a motion tonight to refer MC Build LLC of Holderness, New Hampshire to finance in the amount of $217,000 for the Maple Street Magnet School site work improvement project.
Is there a motion for that?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Steve Kuzmanos, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave Kamari, and that's again for MC Build LLC for the amount of $217,000.
268.
268.
No, that's $217,000.
Oh, 217, sorry, I thought, I
That's
saw the
cash
total.
in
That's
hand.
my fault,
That's-
my fault,
yeah.
my fault.
Okay.
I
Got it.
apologize.
Do you need the CIPs in that motion as well, Allison? Or Sam? Or
We do, I just recorded them.
You have them all set? Okay. You gotta look for the little number, don't you?
And what's the
Alright.
start date on that, Mr. Toddy? Or when we do that?
It's built into the RFP that they can start no sooner than the end of school and finish no later than the beginning of school. And we know the schedule with the contractors, and they agree that they can do it.
Okay.
I can give you the exact dates if you need them.
As long as, that's the gist I'm looking for, I should ask it that way, is we're,
It's
summer,
gonna fit.
summer project and we're gonna get this all
And
in.
it's a short summer, it's
Yeah.
a Maple Street summer, it's not
Yeah,
a summer
it's a-
summer, it's a Maple Street summer, and it's gonna happen.
Okay.
Any other discussion from Mr. Toddy on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. We can pave. Item 4, McCullen Playground. Mr. Toddy.
Okay, so this is a project that's gone out to bid, and there's several playgrounds at the McClellan locus, and this is the area we're talking about. This playground is, most of them, we have 5R, or what you might think of as wood chips, is the impact material. On this playground, it's pea stone, which used to be an acceptable media. No, it hasn't been for a long time. We've been cited several times through Primex inspections and Department of Education inspections that the pea stone has to go. That's what this project entails, to get rid of aging, worn equipment and to replace all of the pea stone. The project went out to bid. We had it went out to bid as, we had a base bid, which represented the amount of money we had in hand, and then an add alternate, which represented the amount of money in the proposed budget, which we don't yet have. So the three bidders, the base bid, lowest bid was Playcore at $149,835 and 33 cents. And the add alternate, the low bid was also Playcore. So Playcore is the candidate I'd like to go forward with. But I don't want to just approve these numbers, because if we approve the 149 and then wait to get the other money, we won't have time to order the equipment. So we've worked with this a little bit to find a way that if we can get where we need to get, if the budget's approved this year. So let me explain all of that to you. First of all, let's just look at what we're doing. There's a new play structure. In the background here, you can see this is a accessible feature. This is a music feature. There's some accessible swing features here. These were all things that were requested by staff at McClellan, and there's a better view of it here. The accessible swing feature. The ramp was very important to the people at McClellan. They wanted to see that. And the roller slide was also very important to the staff in the building. And all of their asks have been included in this design. The blue area represents poured-in-place rubber. So we're going to get rid of the pea stone and replace most of it with 5R or wood chips. But as of January 1st, new federal regulations call for you have to have poured-in-place rubber to be able to wheel a chair up to any new play structure. So the big project, the $200,000 project, is everything that you see here. If we try to phase it in, what I want to do is, with the money I have in budget now, we're going to order all of the equipment. It will be delivered, we will have all of it. We will authorize now, with the money we have, the installation of only the big piece and only a limited amount of poured in place. We'll replace the rest of this, is all pea stone that has to go. So all that will get done regardless of whether the budget passes or not. If the budget passes, we'll have the equipment on hand so we can go ahead and install it and do the full poured in place and do the full project and end up with the entire playground. So, the way the money looks, right now, I have bonded CIP of $150,000, and I have two cash CIP lines for playground parts that gets me up to $160,000. So what I would ask for tonight is a motion from the board to approve Playcore for up to $160,000 from current, with an approval for an additional $40,000 in spending if the fiscal '25 budget is approved.
Any questions from Mr. Toddy on that one? It's a little more complex. Mr. Kusimamos.
So, if we approve the 40,000 or move the 40,000 to finance tonight, we wouldn't have all delivery or completed by the end of the fiscal year, correct?
By the end of the fiscal year, no.
Which we would have to be in compliance, okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that.
No, it's a great question. I see where you're going with it, and yeah, that would have been nice if we could have done that.
Mr. White?
Dave, question for you. So you had 3 separate bids there, correct? Playcore being the lowest bidder of the 3.
Yes, sir.
Is it the exact same product with all?
No,
3
not at
bidders?
all. The playgrounds, the way we've done these in the past is essentially a design contest.
Okay.
We say we have this, we target, what we said in the RFP was, we want phase 1 to include all the structures that I named. We showed them what has to come out and what has to go in. And then, we say for the add alternate, we have up to maybe this much more. So if you go back and look at the numbers, in the RFP, I went the wrong way. So everyone knew that the base bid should be about $150,000. Playcore bid 149, Ben Schaefer was 153, and Hertz was 198. Everyone knew that the add alternate, the money that might become available, was gonna be another 50,000, it should be around 200,000, and you could see Playcore was at 200, and Hertz and Ben Schaefer were both at 227. Playcore is Ultiplay is the product. I've talked to many directors of facilities, they've been around a lot. Some of our equipment that we have inside is already theirs. They are a major manufacturer and its company. We have no worries about them being able to get it done with a quality product.
And that was my follow-up is, are you confident in the quality of the product? So 5-10 years from now, we're not looking at this stuff falling apart because we didn't spend the extra money, right?
So I forget the exact accreditation, it's also in the RFP, anybody bidding on this has to have like the National Safe Playground Association accreditation. There's a lot of accreditations that go into that. So yes, this isn't Bob's Playgrounds from behind the Home Depot. This is,
Awesome, thank you.
yes, sir.
Mayor?
And these prices are just for the equipment, not installation?
No, sir, these prices, what I'm asking for, the 160,
Yep.
we'll get, 160 will get all the equipment purchased. This equipment will get installed. This much port-in-place rubber will happen, and all of the pea stone will go away and be replaced with 5R. The additional $40,000 allows us to install the remaining pieces that we will have on hand, and to expand the amount of port-in-place rubber.
Thank you.
Any other questions regarding this? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
All motion.
We have a motion for this and those CIP items to be moved by Steve Kuzmanos. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Dave Kamari. Any further discussion? All's in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have it. RMS paving.
Okay, so, we've been doing a lot of paving over the past several budgets. This is the last really big paving project that we have in the district, and we'll fall into a maintenance, seal coating, and crack filling, hopefully for the next 25 years. And there's a couple other projects on the side of William Allen. There's some paving behind William Allen. There's some paving. This playground didn't get paved. Those are smaller things. This roadway is the last big piece. So, we put it out to bid. We had 3 bidders. R&D Paving of Franklin, New Hampshire was the low bidder at $174,850. I talked to them. I feel confident that they can do the work. They are also most likely going to be the subcontractor who's going to be doing the paving at the Maple Street project. So they're going to be in town paving on one of our schools. Maybe that's why they were able to give us a little bit of a better price on this project. So this money is contingent upon the CIP budget. So right now, we'll talk more about this project a little bit later, but right now, I'd like to seek approval of R&D paving for $174,850, contingent upon the approval of the fiscal '25 CIP budget.
We have a motion by Mr. Kamari. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave Kuzmanos. We just switched them. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. 1-ton truck.
Okay, so the next 3 items, we'll just go over and recap them, and we'll talk all about how motions might look
At the end, we
after
can do one.
Pick it up
Yes.
again. Okay, so, 1-ton pickup truck with plow, we went out to bid. The low bid was Grapponi Ford at $58,025. I went out and put my hands on that truck. It's sitting on the lot. It's ready to go. We could have that tomorrow. That's low bid and available. I'll move on to the next, high roof cargo van. We put it out to bid. The low bidder was Bonneville and Son at $47,000. They have no idea when they could get such a vehicle. The next low bidder was Grapponi Ford at $49,000, and they're convinced that truck is 6 months away. Bill Doobie had one sitting on the lot. Notice the past tense, at $56,847. It got sold to a local credit union that shall remain nameless. It wasn't anyone in this room. Before we could get it. But they have another ordered, and they feel confident they could get it to us before July 1st. If we were to proceed with this one, we could write a contract agreement that specified a date. So we're going to buy a truck from you only if you can get it here on time. You order it, if it's late, too bad. All right, so the next one. A zero-turn mower, we went out to bid, we had a lot of respondents. The low bid was Brentwood Power Equipment at $15,499. They're bidding a Toro machine. The basis of design was a Gravely, and the Toro machine is equal horsepower. It's a slower machine, and it's a lighter machine. It's about 300 pounds lighter. So Mr. Turner and I talked this over at length, and we feel that they did not meet the specifications, so they're being. The qualified low bidder is MTE Equipment Solutions at $17,425.54. That's a 35 horsepower, 72-inch zero-turn machine. So, with all that said, these are all the funding considerations we talked about last month. There's a bunch of stuff that we could do with dollars that we might have. The first one is the one-ton truck with plow. It's $58,025. There's an asterisk on that one. If you look down at the bottom, in current CIP, there's a bunch of little lines from the last 3 acquisitions of vehicles that have very small balances. There's money here and there. It all totals up to $45,10. We could probably, if those lines are still available, we could apply that to the purchase of that vehicle. It'd be some nice housekeeping on the CIP lines that have little small balances sitting in them. Next one is a high roof cargo van, as discussed. The zero-turn mower, as discussed. We talked about Chamberlain dishwasher a little bit last month, and that went out to bid through Fresh Picks, and we've got $14,740. That's for the equipment only. It's not an installed price because we're not sure we could get everything done, so we just want to get it in hand, and then we'll figure out the installation piece next. Paper towels. I think I heard someone earlier talk about purchasing paper products out of end-of-year dollars to ease future budgets. $27,600 is probably the entire year's worth of the brown paper towels that we use. We've been tidying up the shop quite a bit. We have room to store it, so we could make that acquisition now out of year-end dollars and ease the operating budget for next year. Walk-off mats are desperately needed at the high school. About $8,000 worth of walk-off mats. There's a lot of custom sizes in there. Those are all failing. They become trip hazards. It's something we're probably going to have to do at some point. Traffic beacons. These are the radar signs that show your speed, like the ones they just put up near Gonick. We can acquire some now. I don't know where they would be installed. They may end up on Salmon Falls Road. They may end up somewhere else in the district. We can acquire 2 of them for $68.50. The last one's a brush mower. It's like a walk-behind lawnmower, except for it's a beast. It's heavy-duty, and we would do fence lines with that piece of equipment. So the total there is $193,416.33 for all of those things. If we were to move forward, I would think, since the first 3 items went out to bid, if facilities building committee recommends to finance committee, those first 3 should go as individual items. The rest of them could possibly go as a lump sum authorizing the superintendent to spend up to a certain amount of money to cover those other purchases. So let's talk a little bit about, I told you we'd get back to the middle school paving project. And this is some really good news we have here. Right now, on hand from fiscal 22, 23, and 24, I have $163,000. In the proposed 25, we're asking for $195,000. What we're trying to accomplish is this $174,000 project, plus another $40,000 in seal coating, crack filling. So we can reduce the 195 all the way down to 55. There's $140,000 that we don't need, that's in the proposed budget. If it stayed in there, we could use it, remember I mentioned that the side road at William Allen, the back of William Allen, and perhaps a play area at McCullough could get done. But we all know we're talking about RIFs, so there's 140,000 here, we could take advantage of that, let's. So if you were to authorize all of that spending, the total impact on 25 CIP, one-ton pickup truck is in now for 70,000, we could bring it to zero. Zero-turn mowers in for 20,000, we could bring it to zero. Paving's in at 195, we could drop it to 155. The savings adds up to a total CIP reduction of $230,000.
Before we get into that deepness, procedural, this would just be building recommended finance, and then we would talk to you about, can we pay for it, and we can itemize it from there, right?
Because you asked Ms. Kelly to be prepared for a presentation about surplus, so
Yep.
you'll hear about surplus and then you can make recommendations after.
Off of that,
And I could bring these slides back up
That's
in
fine.
finance, if you got your roadmap.
Wonderful suggestion, Mr. Todd. Couldn't have said better myself. Any questions, motions, discussion?
So we're gonna make the motion.
What was that, Mr. Commissioner?
Are we gonna separate out the three bids, or do we?
We can do that, we can separate, everything has to be finalized in finance anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I'll make a motion to move the 3 items to finance for consideration.
So just to clarify, you're talking about the 1
1
ton
ton?
from Grapponi in the amount of $58,025.
Yep.
The cargo van from Bill Doobie in the amount of $56,847, good timing, sir. And the Z-Turn from MTE in the amount of $17,425.84.
54.
54. I
Don't
can't-
need the extra 30 cents.
Thank you very much, we'll put it someplace else. All right, that is the motion, is that correct, Mrs. Harrington? Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Steve Cusimanos. Any discussion on those 3 items?
No, not on those three items.
Okay. With that, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is moved over to finance.
Now the paving.
Mr. Downs.
Do we need to move the other ones to finance to the magnet?
Yeah, I was just gonna do a calculator here, do you do already the math?
Well, I just wrote them down separately, the Maple Street magnet site, work improvements for the 217, the McCollum playground equipment.
That's already been voted.
That's already been moved to
Yep.
finance?
Yep, sorry, I have those written
Then I
down
was
too.
trying to
just in
write
case.
everything.
I got it written down as well, I'll back up for you. With you.
So if you, I'm sorry, if you're writing down numbers after you, from the
193.
From the 193, when you peel out the 3 that you just talked about individually,
Yeah.
the remaining balance
Oh, beautiful.
is $61,118.79. You could probably just round that to 62,000.
What's that one then?
That would be like the dishwasher, the paper towels, the other items, if the district can allocate
How much
as
is that?
needed, other ones.
What was it again?
61,
It's that one right there.
118.79,
Next one. I think you have it.
869,
79,
70.
61, 118.79.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tucker, okay, thank you. So that would be, is there a motion on that?
I'll motion.
Second?
Mr. Cusimano's motion for 61,118.79 to move towards finance for additional spending, seconded by Mrs. Harrington. Any discussion? All's in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Toddy, for the presentation.
Thank you.
What?
Wasn't there paving?
That's already, we've already
Oh.
voted on everything. Yep, he was just telling how the money can move.
Yep.
5-year, obviously, but when budget's approved, then we would move into 5-year, and we have a meeting coming up at the end of this month, so I would say there's nothing more for 5-year on that part. Does anybody have any comments on 5-year? For building? Seeing none, moving to item 10, public comment. Does anyone from the public like to address the board for building? That smiles or said it all. Closing public comment. I do have one other item in other. Mr. Toddy,
Sir,
tonight will be your last committee meeting, is that correct?
that's correct, sir.
For every board member that I have served with over the past 7 years in this current building committee, thank you for your service to this entire district. I do truly appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. And I'd like to take the moment to thank the board, the administrators, my staff, and especially my superintendent, my mentor, my leader, my friend, Mr. Rapusi, for his leadership over these years. It's been a pleasure working with this board and these administrators. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything under other? Seeing none. Item 12, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.